Welcome in, Lakewood sports fans, to the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. And today we bring you some fantastic matinee basketball. It'll be the Lakewood Rangers facing off against the Bay Village Rockets. And if you are starting off your Cleveland sports viewing experience this weekend with us here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, you have found a good way to get it going. Coach Harper, a heartbreaker for Lakewood in their last game against Holy Name, losing at the buzzer. They did everything they needed to do to win that game. But we talked to the team, we talked to Coach Work, some of the key players from last game. They're determined to put that game in the past and start the script fresh against Bay Village.
Oh, absolutely, Grant. That's what you have to do when you have a young team, right? I mean, you need to be in those tough situations, and of course, they're not going to bounce your way early on. But hey, you know, they learn from it and grow from it, right?
The Lakewood Rangers and Bay Village have already squared off this year, so the script may not always be fresh as it could be, as these two teams a little familiar with each other. GLC opponents now for the first time. Bay getting the better of Lakewood 49-45 with two 16-point quarters in the third and the fourth quarter. They shot 31 three-pointers against Lakewood last game. That's the way the game is trending. And it was a really well-played game. Lakewood only 7 turnovers in that game. Bay Village, obviously, with 15 assists and 13 turnovers, a very disciplined team. We're going to see some crisp basketball, some well-played basketball today, and it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. But hey, you know, facing the team twice in 1 week, right? It's like deja vu all over again. But yeah, hey, you've seen them once now, and you kind of know what to expect. So it'll be interesting to see what the adjustments made for this game.
As Lakewood and Bay Village look to square off, it's Bay Village coming into the 2020 season with a fantastic 2019-2020 season under their belt. They defeated GLC opponent Rocky River in the district final last year. They were district champs, obviously, and lost to Willard in their regional semi-final appearance. That team last year, the most three-pointers in team history with 163. The most wins in a season for the Bay Village girls basketball program, which is a very storied program. 20 wins for them last year. But in your experience, you know Coach Karan very well. You know this Bay Village Rockets squad very well from their time coaching at Megs. You know that they're going to be ready to flip the page, and they've done a great job of that so far already, 6-4 on the season.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So Coach Curran and Coach Campbell, she was Coach Hubach when I knew her back at Magnificat. I tell you what, you couldn't ask for two better basketball minds there, and I think all the success that they had at Magnificat, they've found a way to bring it over here to Bay. Funny enough, though, they've just switched chairs. Now Coach Campbell is the assistant, Coach Curran is now the head coach. But still the same great quality basketball that they definitely know how to coach.
Great quality basketball was the name of the game last time these two teams played. And we look to Lakewood's side here. Just so close last game to getting that win on the board for them and having the opportunity to go ahead and continue building their young team together. What are some keys for both Bay Village and Lakewood as they come into tonight's contest?
Well, I think one of the keys, I guess I'm going to look on the defensive side of the floor. I think one of the things that you're going to look for Lakewood to be able to do is to be able to defend the perimeter. You know, we always talk about hot shooters, right? And so I think it was Martin, LeVogue, and Highland all combined for 10 three-pointers on Monday. And it's tough to stop one shooter, but when you have 3 that can shoot out there, now you've got a little bit different proposition. And I think on the Lakewood side, or on the Bay side defensively, they're going to have to figure out what to do with a red-hot Molly Hendrickson. You know, Molly Hendrickson's coming off of a 6 3-point game, 20 points, and I really think she's starting to feel like she's one of the leaders on this team. And so it's going to be interesting to see if she kind of keep that going and kind of, put these guys on her back a little bit. And what is Bay going to do about that if she gets hot again, right?
It was a question Holy Name's probably still asking themselves. I don't know if they sent a coach out into the hallway to try to locate the Lakewood High School fire extinguisher, but it might have been their only recourse, as she had a flamethrower coming from that right arm all night against Holy Name. And those $2 keys to the game will be on full display here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Remember to stop into $2 today, located in Lakewood. And Coach, we talked about it a little bit, but it's going to come down to three-point shooting. Lakewood really doing a nice job against Holy Name to put in the three-point shot on the back of IE Molly Hendrickson. You come to the Bay Village side, it's Emily Martin. 5 of 7 last time for 3. These two are our matchup of the game, presented by Slife Heating and Cooling.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great matchup to see. I really am interested, though, in, it's very rare that you get to play a team twice in 1 week. And so, you don't have a lot of time to adjust. And it's going to be interesting to see what these teams do to give each other a little bit different look. I tell you what, I really like how Coach Curran in that first game jumped in and out of defenses. I think, he showed a man in front, but he also gave him a couple different zone looks in the 1-3-1 and the 2-3. And I really think it affected Lakewood's rhythm in the second half a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see how the rhythm gets started, as we want to thank all of our families for supporting the Lakewood Sports Channel, bringing our families and fans all the action. Takes a lot of help from our community. The Lakewood Sports Channel would not be possible without the contributions from our supporters. Thanks to donations through the Lakewood Athletic Boosters, we can keep bringing you the show and help keep it going in the future. Go to GoLakewood.org if you'd like to make a donation to the Sports Channel. The Wynn family, Verderber family, the Frantz family, and Betsy Shaugnessy, we appreciate your support as we pause here on the Lakewood Sports Channel for the national anthem.
Please rise right now for the standing and playing of our national anthem.
That means we are minutes away from basketball here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. First Federal of Lakewood is rooted in the communities they serve and has supported the personal and business banking needs of its customers since 1935. Visit ffl.net to learn more. And Coach, starting lineup looking the same for Lakewood, as Bay Village will counter with a group very similar to what they saw in this first matchup here. What did you like from Lakewood as they started out that game against Holy Name and they were able to get out to that lead a little bit and get their rhythm underneath them early to establish and give themselves a chance to win?
Well, I thought they were patient. I thought they ran their offense well. I think that was the reason why Bay kind of had to get out of the man a little bit. Because they ran their offense really well. So, hey, we'll see what they come out with here, and interesting to see how we adjust when we look at that zone.
Our starting lineups tonight presented by Rebound Physical Therapy. Don't let injuries keep you out of the game. Get back on the court of life with Rebound Physical Therapy. Starting for the Bay Village Rockets, the visitors. Number 5, Evelyn Martin. Number 15, Riley Laveau. Number 22, Lucy Bassan. Number 23, Audrey Highland. And number 24, Shaylee Zebarth. Head coach John Curran. And for the Lakewood Rangers, Molly I.E. Hendrickson. Number 4, Sydney Hampton. Number 12, Lily Germain. Number 24, Gianna McCullough. Number 3, Sam Hudak, and the Rangers are coached by first-year head coach Julie Work. And Coach Harper, we talked a little bit about it already, but man, Lakewood so close last game. They were so close against Bay Village in their first matchup, just a 5-point difference separated the two teams last time they played. Once you have played a team the first time in the season, the second time around, you usually like to throw a little bit of a wrench in your first game plan. What do you think something that Coach Work might throw at Bay Village today that maybe will catch them a little off guard?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Work maybe looks at a little bit of pressure, see if she can kind of hurry up their guards a little bit. But, you know, hey, I always say, you know, gimmicks and tricks, they're good for a little bit. But, if you're playing good, sound, fundamental ball, that's what you want. Hey, they're going to grow. They're growing, and they're going to lose some of these close games, but that's what it takes to build a young team to winning. You're going to lose a couple of these close ones.
Lakewood and Bay Village set to tip off here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We're so glad you are joining us at home here for a fantastic Cleveland Sports Weekend. We both got our Browns gear on. We're hoping for wins for the Rangers and for the Cleveland Browns.
Be a great sports weekend, wouldn't it?
Yes,
all
sir.
Right.
Lakewood controls the tip, and we are off here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Hampton over to McCullough. Hampton running the show for Lakewood here as Bay Village comes up with the miss, and it is collected and pushed ahead to Audrey Highland.
I thought that was a good driving dish, though. Good driving dish by McCullough.
Lakewood throws it ahead, but no good on their end. That one thrown up by number 15, Laveau, and Lakewood will come back the other way. Lakewood and Bay Village, 49-45. Bay Village came away with the first part of this two-part series here in GLC play. Lily Germain, the senior, handles it for Lakewood. Hampton open from three, thought about it, driving layup underneath, squeeze that one into McCullough, and the ball goes off Hendrickson's hands, so Lakewood will reset. Cut by Hudak as she couldn't get her feet under her.
I like the Rangers there running that set they were just running there. I thought that was pretty good stuff. Patience, as I said, running their offense patiently, getting good looks.
Two very well-coached teams here on the Lakewood Sports Channel today. A little horns action from Bay Village. Gets a nice layup underneath to Lucy Bison. And the Bay Village Rockets are on the board leading 2-0. Hey, horns action, Bison, they're going to get her involved there.
Hey, by horns, you're seeing the flex action on this end of the floor right there. Nice backdoor cut by Hampton.
Hampton just a little strong on the layup, and Highland will break out for Bay Village. Bay Village pushing the ball against the Rangers, finds a wide open Martin from the corner. That one too strong as the ball is tipped by both squads, but will come back to Lakewood. Lakewood and Bay Village, 2-0 here. Bay Village leading the season series 1-0 as a fantastic, historic season for Bay Village last year as they saw themselves in the regional semifinal. And Hendrickson pulls from deep. That one clanks off the rim, but is bounced around. There's Hudak, the turnaround. No good. Bay Village corrals that one.
Like
Number 24, Chaley Zebarth will push it.
Like the activity there, the energy there by the young Sam Hudak.
Highland, a deep three is nothing but net as Bay Village extends their lead to 5. No hesitation pulling up from a little bit away from the three-point line there. That was almost college regulation. Lakewood looking for their first points of the contest. Nice drive by McCullough underneath, no good.
That was a good drive.
Ball hit off the bottom of the rim. McCullough was met by a few Rockets as Martin pulls that one down. No good off the backboard, but a fortuitous bounce to Bay Village will result in Lucy Bison going to the line for 2.
We talked a little bit about it last time, Grant, McCullough getting going. I think she's doing the right thing. She's attacking the rim. She's doing the right things there. Man, it would be good to see one of these fall for her, though. I know that would be really big for her confidence.
Gianna McCullough and Lily Germain, the two seniors in charge of leading this squad this year in the 2020-2021 season, as McCullough will be replaced by Jacqueline Hudak, who had some very nice defensive possessions as Bison splits the pair. She had some very nice defensive positions against Steyers for Holy Name last game. It was nice to see Hudak making the most of her minutes.
I thought she did a fantastic job against the senior. Tough assignment, and she took it. And really, her energy is what allows her to do those types of things.
As Hudak receives it underneath, she finds IE in the corner. That one rimmed around. No good, as IE looking to duplicate her 6 3-point field goals against Holy Name. Bay still leading 6-0. Bay Village moving it around. A smaller lineup from Bay Village than in years past, but boy, do they make up for it for 3-point shooting.
They absolutely do, and I think they're really interchangeable. They all have good ball handling skills. It's almost like guarding 5 guards out there.
We've already seen about 4 players for Bay push the ball off a rebound already, as Lakewood corrals a few offensive rebounds, and the ball will be poked out by Bay Village. And when you have a team, and you've coached teams like this in the past, where 1 through 5 can pull down a rebound and get your offense started going the other way, boy, it really makes the defense have to be communicative and in their assignments for 36 minutes.
That's a good point, Grant. Listen, you've got 5 guards out there, or 5 guard-like people. Push the ball, speed it up, and now put the defense on their heels quite a bit,
Lakewood probing their first basket of the night as Henriksen ran into 3 Rockets underneath, as Bay Village will push it the other way. Number 15, LeVogue, was in the corner, found Highland for 3, way downtown again. Audrey Highland will force Coach Work to call a timeout. And boy, Mike, when you have to step out that far, and that's a high percentage shot for the other team, boy, does that really tax your defense.
Oh, that's tough. We always say you got to get out and guard the 3-point line, but when you got to guard beyond it,
it makes it a far venture for any defender, as our Geiger's question of the game is, what does Lakewood need to do to bounce back after a close loss versus Holy Name? Obviously a 9-0 run for Bay Village is not how they drew it up.
No, I'm sure Coach Work wouldn't have said this is the way to do it. But, listen, young teams bring about inconsistency, and that's exactly what you're going to see and do. And like I said, this is the second time in a week that you've seen this team. We've just got to settle down a little bit on offense. We've gotten some looks. We've just got to, put the ball in the hole.
Lakewood and Bay Village, a tight one last time. You got to expect that Lakewood has a run of their own set up here, as we have Hudak, Hampton, Henriksen, and Germain out there for the Rangers. A tie up underneath.
Maybe trying to do a little too much with the dribble there,
Ball will go back to the Rockets, as they have out there a substitution. Rory Maris out there for Bay Village. Number 5, Emily Martin. Number 15, Riley LeVogue, brings the ball up. Number 22, Lucy Bison out there for Bay Village. And number 24, Chaley Zebarth out there for the Rockets. A nice pass into the corner to LeVogue, and that one is good. A hot start from deep for the Rockets. They are launching.
See, we talked about that perimeter, and having multiple shooters on that perimeter is tough.
Hampton underneath. As Bay steals that one away, they'll come back. A 12-0 advantage for Bay Village. Bay Village, fantastic from deep. They are 3 of 4 to start this one, Coach Harper. And that was a way Holy Name kind of got back in the game against Lakewood the other night, was a few timely 3-pointers. And like we said, it's taxing for the defense to get all the way out there, but Sydney Hampton doing a nice job of not getting them anything easy from the perimeter this time around.
I like that. That's how you have to extend that defense. Have to make sure you're talking on those high screens as well, too.
Nice job to duck that one inside there by Bison, as Bay will reset with under 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Yeah, I don't see the inside game being a strength of Bay. I think if they can drive, penetrate, collapse, and kick to those shooters, I think that's what you have there. you saw on that last possession, Chaley Zyber got the ball in the post and probably should have gone up with it. But, hey, that's not the comfort level.
Sure.
So I thought that was really a good defensive stance there by Lakewood.
As Hudak will check out and McCullough will come back. A nice steal there by the Rangers. And as Jackie Hudak was trying to break out, she was fouled by Bay Village. So with 1:45 remaining, Lakewood looking to get on the scoreboard here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Bay Village extending themselves out beyond the three-point arc. McCullough working with Hudak as Ava Carroll gets set to check in for the Rangers as well. Picked by Germain. Double dribble there by Hampton, and Lakewood all out of sorts here to start this one. Carroll checking in for Germain, so a very youthful squad on the floor for Lakewood. But hey, sometimes, Coach Harper, you need that youth to maybe play outside of, what you would expect them to be capable of and provide maybe a little bit of a spark for the rest of the team.
Yeah, Grant, it's just a matter of settling down here. I think we're doing some good things. I just think that we got to hit that first shot, and I think it'll be okay after that.
A travel, another defensive stop for Lakewood, hoping to turn that one into points. That's two turnovers in a row for the Rangers.
So another good defensive stance. The energy there is there on the defense. Now we've just got to, attack on this offensive end of the floor.
Rangers forcing 2 turnovers in a row for the Bay Rockets. As Bay sitting 6-4 on this 2020-2021 season. A nice take by Hampton is rejected by Chaley Zebarth. And here she comes pushing it herself down the lane. Runs into 2 Lakewood defenders. Nice job walling up there. She gets right back, wide open, the cut, and no good on the layup. Nice ball movement there. 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Henriksen brings it up and finds McCullough, who's open. McCullough drives in. She's walled off there by Zebarth, and a travel on McCullough. Really textbook defense there by Chaley Zebarth underneath.
Yeah, she walled up. She didn't commit. She didn't reach. She did everything you're supposed to do. And you hate to see McCullough thinking about this thing a little bit now.
Sure.
I think maybe it's getting in her head a little bit. So really looked for her to, keep attacking and trying to get this ball in the hole.
Bay Village with under 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, looking for another bucket to extend their lead. Bay moving it around. 10 seconds remaining now here in the first quarter. They find number 2, Emma Fox, in the corner. She checks in newly for Bay Village. 2 seconds remaining. The floater hangs up there and in. Tough shot there. Emily Martin with the clock winding down, kind of had to throw that one up there, but that's great skill from the junior guard from Bay Village.
Well, Grant, listen, tough first quarter. But, hey, listen, we're up from here, right? Got to settle down, relax, regroup, get back in this game.
That's why there are 4 quarters in a game. They don't call it after the first, and obviously Lakewood and Bay battling to a 5-point decision, 4-point decision, last time between these two teams. And Coach Harper, you know as well as anybody in the building currently that it all starts with belief from the girls on the floor.
Absolutely.
And your job as the coach is to show them that nothing is fatal until that 4th quarter is over. No matter how the first quarter is gone, just like Lakewood was talking about before the game, that Holy Name game is gone.
Oh,
they cannot let the ghosts of that buzzer beater affect how they're playing now. I would expect them to bounce back here in this second quarter because the coaching staff has done a great job of showing them you got to put quarter and quarter together consistently, and that has been preached all week here for the Lakewood Ranger girls team.
Absolutely. A start like this can shake you a little bit, but you just got to settle down. Settle down and let's play basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Let's play, right?
Absolutely. As Lakewood looking to get themselves on the board here. McCullough finds herself open, looking down into the post as Lakewood will reset. Ava Carroll called for the 3-second violation, and the ball will get back over to Bay Village. Out there for Bay Village is number 2, Emma Fox, number 14, Kaylee McGurr, number 23, Audrey Hyland, number 5, Emily Martin, and number 23, and number 22, Lucy Bison. Lakewood countering with Jacqueline Hudak, Gianna McCullough, Sydney Hampton, Ava Carroll, and I.E. Molly Henriksen, who had a fantastic game like we've already talked about against Holy Name. If you're Coach Work, you're definitely looking for her maybe to spark the offense a little bit.
Absolutely. She's been the one who has proven that she's been the one to do so. So hopefully we can get her going here.
McCullough grabs the ball from Carroll after the rebound. The miss there by Martin, as Lakewood again looking to cut into this 14-point advantage here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood.
Hey, Ava Carroll, she's another option too. She's young, but she's got a nice little lefty hook shot. Maybe looking at her and they get the ball in the middle there.
Lakewood certainly looking for answers offensively here, as the ball will stay with Lakewood as it was tipped out. Nice bounce pass underneath as McCullough lost the handle going up, but Carroll's there underneath. Wide open, and that one will fall. Lakewood's on the board.
I called it, Grant.
You did. Coach Harper put on his time traveling suit and came back to the Lakewood Sports Channel with a prognostication, as Carroll, a nice job finding some space underneath. And you know, Bay Village was kind of showing you a little box set there. They had four at the elbows and at the blocks there, and Lakewood did a nice job just finding the hole in the zone.
Oh, good hustle.
Jacqueline Hudak again doing a fantastic job of winning those 50-50 balls for Lakewood, as Henriksen put one up. That looked good, but there's Ava Carroll again. She steps through, no good, puts it up again, and one, Ava Carroll.
Fantastic by the sophomore, I like it. Hey, sometimes you gotta look younger, so break the seal on this thing and look to a younger one to do it. I'm telling you, we always liked her game. She's since 6th grade, she's come in. She's always been aggressive. She's got a nice little left-hand shot there. Good to see.
Nice job by Carroll underneath as she attempts to make it a three-point play. That one clanks off the front of the rim, but a nice job by Carroll to not give up underneath and pull this one back within 10 points. As Lakewood matches up defensively, both Hudak sisters sharing the floor now. Nice cut underneath, but they'll say the ball went off Zebar, and Lakewood retains possession. And again, that's a few stops in a row for the Rangers. And now offensively, starting to get a little momentum. And you talk about it all the time, Coach. Young players, young team. You see the ball go through the hoop a couple times. It just reinforces everything you do in practice, all that work you do skill-wise. It'll pay off if you stay the course.
Absolutely. Trust the process, right?
Trust the process is right. We here in Cleveland know that better than anyone, as the referees will confer on that one. That ball rattled around a few sneakers there. And if I had Jeopardy music to play, I would, but Lakewood will keep this one as they will have the baseline out of bounds here. A little different look defensively from Bay Village. Hudak from three, wide open, yes!
I like that.
Sam Hudak from three has pulled Lakewood. It appears that one is a two-pointer. They might review that one at a break here, but a nice job by Hudak to stay in her open position and knock down the open jumper. Another ball bounced underneath. It looked like it could have gone either way, but Bay will retain possession. And
now, isn't this interesting, Grant? Bay hasn't scored here yet in this second quarter. This is what I'm telling you. You lock up defensively and hit a couple shots, man. Right back in this thing.
Basketball, definitely a game of runs, as both teams will have their say before this one is over. And Shaylee Zebarth has her say underneath. A nice hook shot there off the glass.
Good tough move inside.
Bay Village now leads again by 10, 16-6 with 5 minutes remaining here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Too physical on the sideline is Lucy Bison and freshman Delaney Garcia getting ready to check in for the Rangers.
All right.
Some great energy from Garcia in the last contest. She pulled down some key rebounds and some nice passing from the freshman. Certainly Lakewood will be looking for her to contribute that offensively here.
Absolutely. Once again, I tell you, you just need a minute to get used to this level of play, and this kid's got a lot of talent. She's going to be just fine.
Lakewood probing here, trying to get this lead under double digits for the Rockets. Nice block there underneath by Bison, but the ball will stay with the Rangers as Jermaine, the senior, getting ready to check in. And if you are a fan of analogies, the Rockets were clear for launch in the first quarter. Maybe the Rangers couldn't get their horses going, but it seems that Lakewood has done a much better job of grounding the Rockets here in the second quarter. We'll see if Lakewood can keep this momentum going as a nice little jump shot there by Jermaine will cut the Rocket lead to 8.
That's what you like to see there, Grant. Hey,
Well-executed play underneath.
Well executed, and you know, maybe this is the senior, you know, that needs to step up and get something done. She had a great game last game. Looking for some good things here at this game, too.
Lakewood looking for consistency on offense to knot this one up a little bit closer after not scoring in the first quarter. Lakewood 8 points already here in the second quarter as Hampton wrestles with that ball underneath. It looked like the boundary was going to come into play, and Bay Village will retain possession. And
another good defensive stance, though, Grant. You can see Bay is not getting easy backdoor cuts, any easy looks on this one. I really like to see that.
Whatever Coach Work, Coach Coker, Coach Hofford had to say after the end of the first quarter, certainly resonating with the Rangers as a wide open Rory Morris had a look at it, but she will be fouled and go to the line for 2. And it was comical to watch Coach Work on the sideline there. When you have a baseline out of bounds play that works to perfection, she let out an audible yes and a clap there. It's all for a coach. You always really like to see those set plays being executed.
Yeah, you know, in our mind, we draw up these mastermind plays.
Can't fail, right?
Can't fail. No, and you wonder why they do.
Right.
And then, but when they do come off to perfection, you're happy. You love to see that. Easy buckets.
A numbers game for those set plays working on those slobs and blobs. As both free throws won't go for Morris, and Lakewood will push the other way, looking to cut into this 8-point lead.
I like the attack there, but a little out of control.
Little out of control as the ball will go back to the Rockets. And an interesting stat about Morris for Bay Village. What an impact she had on the last game that Lakewood and Bay Village played. She was a +10. Bay Village outscored Lakewood by 10 points when she was on the floor last game, and she didn't register a point in the scorebook. Just goes to show you what you can do to affect the basketball game, even without putting the ball in the hoop, as Bay Village puts the ball in the hoop there to extend their lead. Garcia underneath, that one no good, but a tie-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will keep the ball with the Rangers. A nice job attacking there by the freshman.
You know, one of the plus-minus stats, one of the greatest stats I think out there. You know, we really started using that in the last 3 years of my coaching, and it's just really interesting to see. And you use that as a learning or teaching tool to the kids, like, hey, you might be struggling scoring, but look what you're doing in your plus-minus here. And so I really love that stat.
So, something to motivate and help keep your athletes in a positive state of mind, even if the scorebook isn't filled with points. It's an awesome thing for young players to show them how they can impact a game in multiple ways. As Coach Curran there taking a timeout for Bay Village. Lakewood trailing by 10 here, but you've seen some nice offensive ideas, some nice offensive execution, much better in the second quarter here than in the first quarter, as both Hudak sisters check out, and Hannah Katula will come out. Alicia Hannah Katula will come out for the Rangers.
You know, this is another young lady, Hannah Katula, that can shoot. Maybe she gets some opportunities here to show you that.
Nice take right away, and Coach Harper, put your hand on the crystal ball and ask him what he sees. He has been quite the prediction master today. What do you think, Baker Mayfield? You got a stat line for me tomorrow? You're hot right now, man. I need to hear it. I need somebody to tell me good things here. As Lakewood trails by 8 now, a deep three-pointer was halfway down. But as Bay Village and Lakewood battle for the ball there, another substitution coming for the Rockets. Lucy Bison returning, and she was big defensively and offensively to get that 14-point run for Bay Village in the first quarter. If you're Lakewood and you're seeing her come back out there, you got to account for her.
Hey, you know, she's only a freshman, so she's giving them, you know, a lot of times you ask your freshmen just not to make mistakes for you, you know. But, you know, when you're contributing that way, that's tough.
She may be a 4-year head scratcher for the Lakewood coaching staff, trying to figure out ways to contain Bison as she goes to the line to shoot a pair. Under 3 minutes here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. We have a good one for you, folks, as you start off your sports watching weekend here in Cleveland, Ohio. Lakewood trailing 10-18 here as Bison puts up the second free throw to extend that lead to 9. That ball tipped, and Garcia did a nice job to recover it, but it ended up in the Rockets' hands.
Yeah, we talk about feeding the post, man. It's tough to feed the post with those types of entry passes. You know,
a ball fake is usually right what you're looking for there in that situation, because football's been on the mind here. Just as like at the line of scrimmage, right? You're taught to try to affect that pass any way you can. Active hands on defense. Sometimes that ball fake will open up the bounce pass.
Absolutely.
As the ball went out there for Bay Village, and Lakewood will take control of possession here. Nice entry pass there as Garcia got around and won. Delaney Garcia, a big smile on Delaney's face as her first varsity points here. And man, that's great to see.
First of many,
First of many. What a move there. Excellent job getting to the hole by Garcia.
So
she looks to make it a three-point play.
You see the skill level this kid has. I'm telling you, she's a no-brainer, can't miss. I'm telling you, she just has to get some time in and get comfortable.
The three-point play is complete by Garcia, as Lakewood now trailing by 6, and it is the youth movement for Lakewood contributing to this comeback, as McCullough there to much contact on the challenge there as she fouled number 15, Riley Laveau.
You know, outscoring Bay 13-5 in this quarter. I told you, Graham, you just need to see the ball go in and tighten up on defense a little bit, and you see what can happen.
McCullough, a nice job to tip that one. Bay, a 14-0 run in the first quarter. Lakewood, their own 13-5 run, as the quarter 3 will not go for Martin, and Lakewood looking to break out the other way. An exciting one here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Under 2 minutes remaining.
Great rebound by Garcia. You see that there?
Henriksen from 3. That one traveled around. And a travel on Alicia Hanakatula. Nice job to pull down that rebound, but too many steps underneath. And you'd like to see that pull from Henriksen there and that energy from Katula. It all spells good things as this game winds on here on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Tell you what, you know, Garcia posts up nice. I have to look at her again after she hit that three-point play just to see what we got here, you know?
Absolutely, as Lakewood looking for offensive consistency to match their defensive intensity, as a nice power dribble there by Lucy Bison will get Bay Village back to an 8-point lead. 21-13 here, 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Katula underneath, the step through and foul by Martin. And Katula will go to the line shooting 2. Much better job of Lakewood putting Bay Village on their heels a little bit and getting themselves to the free throw line. Obviously, many more free throws in this quarter than in the first.
And I tell you what, Brent, it's funny how basketball works. Sometimes you're getting contributions from maybe the ones you didn't see. Hannah Katula comes in and sparks a little bit with a nice hit. You see the freshman, Garcia, come in and give you a little bit. Ava Carroll off the bench.
Lakewood's youth movement certainly doing the trick here in the second quarter, as they have pulled this one to a 6-point deficit, really cutting down on Bay Village's dominant first quarter, as Martin, the little floater there. Emily Martin didn't agree with the foul call down there and took her frustrations out with a nice floater on the other end. Hampton pulls up from 3, that one off the back iron, and pulled down by Bay Village. 23-15, 30 seconds remaining. And number 23, Audrey Highland, pleading with the referee to recheck the spot on that one, but she stepped out for Bay Village, and Lakewood looking to cut this one back down to 6. McCullough underneath. That one tipped around. Lakewood and Rockets on the floor. Rangers and Rockets battled for that one, but it will be the Rockets' ball here. 34.3 seconds remaining. A much tighter contest here in the second quarter, Coach Harper.
Very much so.
And we kind of see the familiarity between Lakewood and Bay Village. Lakewood gaining their footing in this quarter. Foul underneath. It will be assessed to number 2, Molly I.E. Henriksen, as number 15, Riley Laveau, will be shooting at the line. Another freshman for Bay Village. They have 2 in the starting lineup, Coach. You got a team that made it to the regional, had the most wins in program history last year. You're going to see some youth in the starting lineup. But if I didn't have that written down on the lineups here, I wouldn't have known.
Oh no, they don't play like freshmen, young players, you know. And you like to see that.
Youth movement is alive and well here at Lakewood High School between the Rockets and the Rangers as number 15, Riley LeVogue, puts that one in to extend Bay Village's lead. 20 seconds left and some full court pressure
here
by Bay Village. The 1-3-1 finds Jermaine underneath. A nice layup by Lily. Jermaine cracking the code to that press.
Beautiful. Hey, zone trap, catch the ball, square up, look ahead.
Fantastic fundamentals by Jermaine as the three-pointer no good, layup no good, and a desperation heat from Catula was tipped in. What a quarter we saw there. Bay Village commanding the first quarter, but it was the Rangers bouncing back in a big way in the second quarter as Bay Village and Lakewood now
just
at 24-17.
Goes to show you that it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? We can't get all crazy about a 14-0 start. I'm really happy to see and proud of those girls for scrapping in that second quarter.
We are keeping our heads here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, and we are locked in for a second half of basketball. We can't wait to bring you here. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank the Lakewood Athletic Boosters and any support that we have gained from outside the Athletic Boosters has come from the generosity of so many great families here in the Lakewood community. Jennifer Wynn, the Verderber family, the Frantz family, and Betsy Shaugnessy, thank you for your contributions to the Lakewood Sports Channel. Bringing our families and fans all the action takes a lot of help from our community. The Lakewood Sports Channel would not be possible without the contributions from our supporters. Thanks to donations through the Athletic Boosters, we can keep bringing you the show and help keep it going in the future. Go to GoLakewood.org if you would like to make a donation to the channel. We'll be back with the second half here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. And I asked him, I go, why would you do that? I had it all perfectly timed out. He goes, I wanted to save my future.
I get the great graces of the star.
That's not true.
I'm the side guy here.
It's not true.
I'm the sidekick.
I think nothing without the substance.
Hayes wants his glory.
He called himself Bill Walton. Called himself Bill Walton.
Call himself Bill Walton.
Why y'all dancing around the fence? You can't expect somebody like that.
boy, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Tell them
Right.
to keep a high motion. So they thought it was a timeout, so they ran out the court. Which I think. And then if you yell at them,
Right.
then you're gonna get nothing.
Then you get nothing. How about CSU, man?
Come on, baby. Win today.
Back to back.
10-0, we win today.
Man, Wright State's tough though.
Yo, last night was a good game. Though.
Yeah.
They went, so they already beat the record. Like they got the best record to start in conference in history.
Oh, for sure.
They shattered.
Now, is Wright State still on the horizon?
Yeah.
So I wonder why they're favored.
Like say, because everybody else here is good.
8.5.
Oh, today? They probably haven't won back to back in a long time. Plus last night was so close. It depends. It probably depends on who. I didn't watch the game because like on my ESPN Plus, ESPN U was a part of the package. So I had to look at the scores. Yeah, I just on ESPN 3 so I could watch it. So I don't know who got hot too. So you know it might be this guy got hot that only averages 4 minutes.
You mean like you? So you have ESPN Plus on your TV?
I got the app here. So I
Oh,
can
on
watch
your
it
phone?
on my phone, TV.
I got you.
But like, is that including like the regular ESPN, ESPN, which I didn't know right last night. Real good. Real good. Well, you can access once you get this down for real, see ya. You have made Billy for real. Hey, if I try to do that, it'd be a no talk. Let the parents be like, hey.
Luke, we're going to go back, buddy. Luke, we're going to go back, all right?
Get it rolling.
17-24, the Rangers trail Bay Village here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. And Coach Harper, after that first quarter, you had to think to yourself, man, what does Lakewood do to get back into it? And we had the answer to that question readily available in the second quarter. It was defensively turn up the pressure a little bit and offensively try to move the basketball to find some open shots. They did a nice job of doing that.
I thought so. The defensive pressure was key. But also, you know, they found some contributions in places that they probably didn't see coming, you know. And so, hey, that's nice. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes your starters don't have it going. You need to look at that bench and see, you know, where can I get that help? And I really was proud of the way that the bench came in and really kind of sparked that for the Rangers.
Ava Carroll, Delaney Garcia off the bench for the Rangers as they did a nice job finding some buckets underneath, got to the free throw line a little bit to help their cause, and saw that 14-0 first quarter be erased with a 17-10 run there in the second quarter. We got a great second half of basketball coming up. Coach Harper, what are you going to look for here as Lakewood tips back off against Bay Village?
Well, hey, can we keep that defensive pressure up? I thought they did a good job in that second quarter of running those three-point shooters that got loose on them in the first quarter off the three-point line. They extended that pressure, and they did a good job there. Now we just got to settle down and play basketball on the offensive end of the floor. Take care of the ball. And, hey, I like, you know, looking at a Lily Germain, looking at some of the post play. If we're not knocking down shots outside, let's look at getting the ball inside a little bit.
As Lakewood and Bay Village get back out here for the second half, it's been a game of runs here as Lakewood went on their run in the second quarter. Bay Village a shutout in the first quarter as we tip off here for the second half. It'll be Hampton, Sam Hudak, McCullough, Germain, and Henriksen for the Rangers, and for the Bay Village Rockets, it'll be Zebarth, Highland, Bison, LaVogue, and Emily Martin out there. Back to our starting fives to open up the second half as McCullough a spin and a layup there. Nice layup and nice move by McCullough to cut this lead to 5.
Happy to see that for that kid, man. You could see in the first half it was wearing on her a little bit. Good to see that.
McCullough with the spin and the scoop there as Lakewood looks to cut further into this lead. A nice dump in underneath, but Hudak was a little too physical. However, that foul will not be a shooting foul. It'll be on the floor, save for the Rangers there, not letting Bay Village get to the line to start this quarter. As Coach Coran barks out orders from the sideline.
I thought Hudak did a good job of getting there, but you know, jumping and swatting will get you every time.
Number 22, Lucy Bison, had a nice pass there.
There goes that freshman
converted.
again.
Nice post position underneath. She was just too deep under the hoop with that post position.
Yep.
Nice duck in underneath the Hampton, and a block by number 24, Zebarth underneath. The bigs for Bay Village are powering this third quarter engine. 26-19, Bay Village leading the Rangers. Jumper there by Germain. The bank shot tipped around but could not go, and a tie-up underneath will actually be called a hold on the Rangers, and Bay Village will get a clear inbounds here in the third quarter. 7 minutes remaining.
That's a good shot from the senior. I mean, you know, she needs to assert herself a little bit on the offensive end. I think that's a good shot.
Lakewood doing a nice job of cutting into that 14-point deficit they found themselves in after the first quarter as Martin pulls a three. No good, but a nice, tough rebound underneath by number 24, Kaylee Zebarth. She snatched that one out of the air like a wide receiver. Tied up underneath, and it'll go to Bay Village.
Good energy by Hudak to get in there and tie that up.
Another dip outside as the layup was no good, and the foul call coming in as Zebarth will go to the line. That same play they executed on earlier. They ran into trouble on that one a bit.
I got caught there. Thought she moved her feet well, but that last minute swat trying to block the shot.
You are spot on with the predictions today as we see the free throw up and good. And you said it, anytime you lose that good fundamental defensive positioning, you're at risk of jumping into the shooter, which is where I.E. Henriksen found herself on that one.
And we got a little substitution here. Loyola Carroll in, see what we got going on here.
Sorry if our overlay was causing any issues there as we bring you the third quarter here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. 28-19, Bay Village leads. I hope everybody at home was able to follow the game with our commentary as our picture was still up on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Lakewood and Bay trading baskets here in the third quarter as 6 minutes remain. 28-19 the score. Germain pops in. A baseline shot there is Carroll, too tough underneath for Bay Village to handle as she will go to the line for a pair of free throws. And it seems every time there's an offensive rebound to be contested, it's Ava Carroll.
Ava Carroll
and one of the Bay Village bigs going at it. She's done a great job of combating for rebounds.
Again, a good attack by Germain on that one. But that other post player in there, Ava Carroll, to come weak side and help with the offensive rebound. That's big time stuff there.
The lefty puts that free throw open in as she splits the pair, as Lakewood now trails by 8. 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Nice bounce pass underneath. I got it. Rangers force a stop there as the score is now 28-20 here in the third quarter. Hampton almost lost that one out of bounds, but Lakewood will retain possession there. It was a close one. Thanks for hanging in there with us at the start of this third quarter. You guys were well aware of the halftime score as the Lakewood Sports Channel moves on here in the second half. Pushing the ball is Bison. She will pull it back out. LeVogue, a nice take underneath the right-handed layup.
It's fantastic. Lakewood got a little laxed in their retreat and recover there.
30-20, Lakewood trailing by double digits again. The block underneath by Zebarth will get the Rockets blasting off in the other direction. That one out of bounds, and Lakewood will come back the other way. And Coach, you've seen a renewed sense of energy and discipline from Bay Village here in this second half. You knew a team as well coached and as disciplined as Bay Village, they were going to probably have a chance to rebuild that lead a little bit after halftime.
Oh, absolutely. Good coaching staffs, they're always going to make those key adjustments during the half. But, once again, I'd say, we're there. We're just making a couple too many mistakes, and definitely when you on the defensive end, giving up that last easy layup to LeVogue, you got to make sure you're getting back and communicating on those screens.
Lakewood doing a much better job in the second quarter doing those things, limiting some of what Bay Village was getting in transition. And now, as Bay Village will put on some full court pressure, it'll be on the Rangers to counter and get the ball across the line safely. McCullough finds the over-the-shoulder pass, but her pass is tipped by Bay Village, and Lakewood will get the ball across the timeline, looking to cut into this double-digit lead. 30-20 Bay Village lead. Looks like maybe a little bit of a 2-3 zone for Bay Village.
Absolutely.
Switching defenses is what got them to a victory in this first matchup. McCullough for two, that one no good. Hudak underneath couldn't get it, and Bay Village will corral it. Zebarth in the corner, finds a nice outlet in number 15, Riley LeVogue, and Bay Village will push it the other way.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how Lakewood adjusts to this 2-3 zone now. See if we'll see a little overload, a little high-low action.
Certainly Coach Work has some ideas in mind for the Rangers as the three-pointer too long, but that ball was corralled by Zebarth underneath the Bison, and she will go to the line once again. Lucy Bison doing a nice job of returning, it seems like every few minutes, to the free throw line, putting Lakewood in some tough positions down low.
Yeah. Their hustle factor is a little higher than ours right now, Grant. I'm seeing we gotta amp up that energy just a little bit. Hey, Jackie Hudak coming in the game. Maybe that's part of that plan, huh?
Whenever Jackie Hudak is a permanent Red Bull for this Lakewood Rangers squad. She brings the energy. She gets those energy levels pumping for the Lakewood Rangers.
She's that shock treatment you need.
Lakewood trailing by 11 here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. 31-20 with 4 minutes remaining. McCullough for three, no good. Rebound bounced around, but nice job by Zebarth underneath to pull that one down. LeVogue will push it. Bay Village enjoying an 11-point advantage here in the third quarter.
So that's part of the zone, Grant, right? Zone's going to give you some wide open jump shots, and, are you going to be patient and settle for them, or, really work the zone, move the ball side to side, and get those
extra passes sometimes.
Well, they open up those gaps in those zones if you're willing to be patient enough.
Lakewood forcing Bay Village into a turnover there as Sydney Hampton will lead the Ranger attack here against the 2-3 zone. McCullough extended on the left arc. She finds some room to work as her layup is no good, and Rockets will break out again. Some full court trapping by the Rangers results in a bad pass there and a turnover by Bay Village. It seems like, Coach, in this third quarter, it's either Rockets finding their way with a second chance opportunity underneath or a turnover for them. So if you're Lakewood, you got to be encouraged by that. Just need to do a little better job rebounding on the defensive end.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see, I think we're going to see Aik. Oh.
Wide open layup by Bison there. Couldn't get that one to go, but a bounce pass out to LeVogue. Her three-pointer strayed too far. And a foul underneath on number 22, Lucy Bison, will get the ball back to Lakewood. And again, another stop, coach. This time by way of a loose ball foul as number 12, Rory Morris, will check in for Bay Village, as well as Kaylee McGurr.
Hey, we got Molly Henderson back in for the Rangers here. See if we do a little zone busting maybe.
The sharp shooting Molly Hendrickson, hoping to crack the zone for Bay Village. Had a look there, but lost the ball.
Yeah.
Lakewood contains it.
Akita
Hudak whips it over to Carroll as Lakewood looking for a good shot here.
Akita breaking that zone and moving that pass with clean catches. Got to have clean catches.
Got to be in triple threat mode. Got to be ready to pop it. She was,
absolutely.
Hendrickson doing such a fantastic job against Holy Name, being ready to shoot when the ball was swung her way. We'll see Alicia Hanakatula coming out for the Rangers, replacing the senior Lily Germain, as Lakewood trails 31-20 here with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the third quarter. Nice driving kick there to Martin for three.
She's tough.
Emily Martin, good for launch.
Yeah, she's tough. She had 5 on Monday against them, and I think they really need to understand that cannot leave her out there by herself.
Defensively, you got to communicate through that, because just such a nice drive there by LeVogue opens up a wide three-pointer, and it's the oldest trick in the game. The drive and the kick is so simple, Coach, but sometimes it's hard to defend.
Absolutely. It is tough.
34-20, the Bay Rockets enjoying a 14-point advantage here. LeVogue tried to stop her momentum there, but could not, as this one will come back to the Rangers. And there you have it, Coach. It's this quarter, it's either been Bay Rockets give the ball back to Lakewood, or finding some really nice opportunities.
Well, they're giving us opportunities, you know.
Right.
It's a matter of us taking advantage.
As Carroll finds Hudak underneath, a nice bounce path as Henriksen was bumped underneath, and the whistle will come in as Henriksen will go the line looking to chip away at this Rocket advantage.
It's good. Hasn't been the same type of shooting night for her as it was on Wednesday.
But you love to see that from a player where, hey, my three-pointers may not be going down, but I'm going to make some cuts. I'm going to move without the ball to try to find some options for my team outside of what I normally do. It's great adaptability.
Absolutely. And, you know, a good remedy or cure for a bad shooting night is getting to the line, you know, getting a free throw or two. So.
Coach Mike Harper has knocked in a few free throws at the line in a prelude to hot shooting nights in your playing days, I'm sure. Speaking from experience, as Henriksen knocks that one home.
Grant, I have to tell the truth. They told me, Harper, you get out there and pass the ball and play defense.
They told me, Graves, you either pass the ball or you're going to be on here on the bench the whole night. Bay Village enjoying a 13-point advantage on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Rory Morris is trapped in the corner, but a block on Katsula there. It looked like the Rangers may have had a situation they liked there, but a little too physical by Katsula. As Bay Village has Martin.
Yeah, these are the things that Hannah Katula, she's getting on this level. You know, sometimes it's the easy fouls that get her, but I like a kid that stays aggressive. You know, and that's you know, like I said before, you have to sometimes you have to dial that back a little bit. But
fantastic energy by Jacqueline Hudak there as she traveled, as she gained possession. But boy, you love to see that from Hudak as she is motivating the team to take after her defensive intensity. Bay Village has Morris, Martin, Zebarth, Fox, and number 14 McGurr out there. Sydney Hampton, nice defense there to knock that one away. She is fouled by Martin on the sideline, and Lakewood will retain possession. Hampton Henriksen, Carroll,
That is-
Jacqueline Hudak, and Couture out there for the Rangers.
That is a nice aggressive play by the young point guard there. I like that. You know, she hasn't been shooting the ball well, but look at her out there being physical and feisty on defense. Love it.
34-21, the Rockets lead with just a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Tua, nice fake
great
and bounce pass underneath as Carroll was fouled. And if you're Lakewood right now, a 13-point advantage is obviously not where you would like to be, but anytime you can move the ball and get points with the clock stopped, it's going to pay dividends if they are going to close the gap here as the game moves on.
Well, Grant, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, this zone is designed to make you take those jump shots, those three-pointers that you don't necessarily want. That was a good example of not settling for that.
Sure.
Making sure that you attack the seam lines and then, hey, get an easy dump on the inside there. I like it.
A young lineup out there for the Rangers right now, doing a good job of finding some offense. Hampton pestering Martin. Henriksen on Fox. Bay Village swinging the ball around the arc, looking for a good shot, but Lakewood doing a nice job to stay in front. Finally, an open three-pointer from Fox. Halfway down, but no good. Carroll, a nice rebound underneath. Hampton will push it the other way. 25 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Henriksen imploring Hudak to give her the ball, but a nice cut by Hampton underneath. Way high up there off the glass. Hampton got it to go. That ball took a trip to the summit and it came back down through the hoop.
Just like she planned it. Just like she planned it.
High off the glass, and too much contact there by the Rangers as a 34-24 advantage will be enjoyed here at the end of the third quarter by the Rockets as Highland checks in to be the inbounder. Number 22, Lucy Bison, also checking back in.
Great, you can feel the Rangers are amping up the defensive intensity here. I like it. I think Coach Work's got a good mixture out here.
The shot at the end of the quarter, no good there. In and out for Bay Village as the Rockets lead 34-24 here on the Lakewood Sports Channel with an exciting fourth quarter coming up. And like you said, Coach, that group showing the blueprint of how you get back in this game. You know, some tough defensive rebounds by Carroll there, some nice passing throughout the zone there. Really some, I like to call them Indiana Jones passes, because those balls just get in there before those hands can get in the passing lanes. And, you know, if you're Lakewood, you got to be encouraged by that. And you can't take a step back like we saw at the start of the third quarter to get themselves back to a 10-point deficit.
It wasn't the start to the third quarter they wanted, but I thought they finished the quarter well.
Absolutely. You know? As Lakewood and Bay Village going to battle here with one more quarter remaining on the Lakewood Sports Channel, brought to you by First Federal of Lakewood. We're so happy to bring you guys Ranger basketball out there wherever you're joining us. If you're in Bay Village, if you're in Lakewood, if you are somewhere else in the country, we're glad you are tuned in here on the First Federal of Lakewood Sports.
It's like the Browns, Grant. We got fans all over the world.
All over.
We got Rangers all over the Ranger backers. That's it. We got Rangers all over the world, baby.
Fun fact, our first broadcast, we had somebody tune in from Lebanon. So we are worldwide here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. As
that I did not know. All right.
We'd like to review the tape and make sure we are accounting for every viewer out there on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Bay Village going back to a little bit of man-to-man here as the pass underneath to Hudak. Oh, nice layup by Hudak there. Just couldn't find its way in as Martin doing a nice job of pushing it for Bay Village. Few options for Martin as she pulls up from three. That one no good. Martin finds herself back with the ball, looking to set up Bay Village again. 34-24, Bay Village leads.
You know, Zebarth is active. She's an active body. We got to do a better job of boxing her out.
Right on cue, Zebarth right down the lane, but a nice job by the Rangers to get the miss and the defensive rebound. A huge change for them as the third quarter saw a couple offensive rebounds for Bay Village. Hudak the three. That one off the side of the back of the underneath of the backboard, and the Rockets regain possession. Bay Village, a fantastic three-point shooting team. That's where they like to make their bones on offense, as you would say. But, man, Lakewood's doing a nice job of forcing them to adjust a little bit. We haven't seen as many three-pointers from Bay Village as we saw in the first matchup between
you really haven't. You really haven't. And it were in the first quarter.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
right.
we really done a good job of clamping that down. I like that.
Lakewood trailing by 10, a nice duck in underneath, and a good rejection by Z-Bart there. And that was textbook. You teach your players to be straight up, wall up, and man, she didn't budge for an inch there on Jermaine's layup.
And sometimes, as a big though, you gotta be getting in there and pump faking.
Nice take by McCullough. The step through will be donned a travel as she was walled off nicely there by the Bay Village defense. 6 minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter, with Bay Village 1 foul away from the bonus and Lakewood 2 fouls away. It's been a pretty clean game all around here at Lakewood High School. Bay Village taking their time on offense. Their lead and the clock are their friends right now. And a jump ball by Hudak. Nice job tying up the freshman LeVogue there on the sideline, but it will stay with Bay Village. And
sometimes, Grant, there's a thin line between a jump ball and a foul. That was I appreciate the good hustle there by Sam Hudak, but that was close.
Possession is in the eye of the beholder as Jaylee Zebarth, a nice take underneath, will give her a one-way ticket to the free throw line as Delaney Garcia is set to check back in for the Rangers.
See if she can capitalize on that first half success she saw.
We're so glad you can join us at home here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We love everybody commenting and providing their support for the channel on the YouTube page. We know Lakewood Luke is at home watching this one today. He's been a stalwart supporter of the Lakewood Sports Channel. So we see you, Lakewood Luke. Thanks for hanging in there with us on the Lakewood Sports Channel as the pair is split at the line for the Rockets, and their lead increases to 11. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the last quarter of play. Bay Village and Lakewood going at it as Jermaine. That ball was tipped around, but Lakewood somehow regained possession. Just like you watch a putt all the way through, they were watching that one trail to the line as Henriksen.
There we go.
Fashionably late to the party, but don't let Henriksen heat up. Her first three-pointer comes here in the fourth quarter. The fantastic shooter.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. Henriksen underneath. Nice
great
defense by
play.
IE. Hampton pushing it the other way. Rangers with some life. Trailing by 9 after the Molly Henriksen three-pointer. The senior Jermaine sets the pick. Hampton takes it down as Lakewood will reset, looking for a good one here. Garcia from the corner. That one too strong, but there's Hudak. Jermaine for two. That one is good. Billy Jermaine, man, oh man, what hustle by the Rangers on that possession.
And
you
all
had
of
a couple
sudden,
tips there? Yeah, absolutely.
all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game.
35-29 all of a sudden here as the foul will be on Lakewood, on Hudak. I believe that's her fourth. As LeVogue will go to the line as the Bay Village Rockets are now within the bonus.
Yeah, those are the ticky-tack type fouls that kind of break momentum there a little bit,
The free throw up and good on the first one by LeVogue. And like you said, Coach, the momentum trending in Lakewood's direction. They did a nice job of playing fundamental defense there. Unfortunately, at this stage of the game, when you let a team in the bonus, it can be quite the experience, it could be quite the tribulation down the stretch. Rockets with a timeout as their lead sits at 8 here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. And Coach, again, we talked about it. I mean, it's not about the first quarter. It's not about, and sometimes it's not even about, it's about what can you do to respond to adversity. And Lakewood, what a fantastic job after trailing 14-0 in the first quarter. 29 points between the second quarter and now 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. And it's really been on the backs of second chance points and sharing that extra pass on the offensive end.
Well, a testament to Coach Work and her staff, too. When you're on the sideline and nothing seems to be going right as a coach, it's hard to sometimes know what to say. What is that thing you're going to say that's going to spark that thing that you need? And
the potential your team has. Maybe they're not showing it at that
absolutely, but you're searching and you're reaching and you're trying to whatever you can do. And but I've seen her over there passionate. I'm seeing the passion in her face. That at the end of the day, I always would say the girls just want to know that you care. When you sit down and quit and act like you don't care, well, you're sending a signal to your team. So I really like that when I see that in a coach. No matter what the score is, we keep fighting.
Absolutely.
We're all in this together,
Every time you all at home have joined the Lakewood Sports Channel, you have seen this girls team fighting to the end. And this one will be no difference as they trail by 8 here with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. We're in for a good end to this game as Lakewood and Bay Village's battle. Hudak in the corner for 3. That one no good. Bay Village pushing it the other way. LeVogue doing a nice job getting coast to coast. As she threw it away, Sydney Hampton comes up with that one, but didn't see LeVogue behind her. What a bounce back by Riley LeVogue. The freshman snuck up on Hampton and took that one away.
Yeah, that's a little bit of youth right there.
Hampton was surveying the offensive landscape and just didn't see LeVogue behind her there. And Coach, we just talked about it. It's not about the mistakes you make. It's about your reaction to them. And if you're Riley LeVogue there, obviously a turnover that for a freshman you'll see from time to time. But when you sit down at the end of the season, you evaluate certain plays and certain players. You point to moments like that where you say, I got belief that you're going to grow and you're going to really be an impactful player for years to come.
No doubt about it. You'd love to see that. Young freshman makes a mistake, she comes back and she gets it right back. And, let that be a testament to some of the young girls on our team, too.
Sure.
Learning
from the opponent is oftentimes how you find yourself beating the opponent. As Lakewood doing their best to claw their way back into this one, but the Rockets at every tournament have had a counter. 39-29, the Rockets lead.
Seems like every time we get a little bit of momentum, something happens.
Right? Garcia underneath, and she is fouled. Really nice job by Garcia. She set a few screens there to open herself up, and Lakewood was able to find her underneath. Another nice baseline out-of-bounds play by the Lakewood Rangers.
I know she's just a freshman. I get it, but I'm telling you, it would be really interesting to see. She's a nice big body. She's posting up hard. It'd be nice to see if they get the ball into her a little bit, see what happens.
Garcia knocks in the free throw with nothing but net as Highland will check into the game for Morris. And Coach, like you said, it's about everybody contributing. You can't play this game with just 5 players. You'll be run ragged by the end of the game. And we've seen Bay and Lakewood go into their benches quite a bit here on this Saturday matinee showing as Garcia pours both in. And you, as a team, you need to know that when your time comes, you trust the girl next to you to get the job done. And Lakewood and Bay have seen some awesome contributions from their benches today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
As Bay Village will retain possession here, leading 39-31. 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Every coach talks about building depth, too. You cannot build depth if you don't trust in, the early midseason games to go in that bench and let them play some key valuable minutes.
And obviously, depth more important than ever because you could show up to a game one day and so might be out for reasons unforeseen before the pandemic. So everybody's got to step up and be ready. As Lakewood steals that one. Hudak on the other end, no good. Corralled by Garcia underneath. That ball still on the ground. And it appears that a foul will be assessed to Garcia. The foul went on Garcia, who was toppled over by a few Rockets.
Yeah, it looks like
and
a
apparently
tough call
they didn't
there,
like
Grant.
how she was lying on the floor.
That's a tough call there, Grant. Hey, listen, if I'm Coach Work, I tell her, good job.
Hey,
listen, that's just
doing the right thing,
that's a
right?
bad call. Good job.
Right.
Get on the floor.
Please do not stop diving on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Get on the floor. Good job.
Nice job by the freshman mixing it up there. A 1-and-1 chance for Bay Village. That one rims off, and Hudak will push it for the Rangers. Bay Rockets hoping for a successful orbit for their team here as this game winds down. And Hudak knocks it in for three. Sam Hudak with a big bucket to knock this one back to a 5-point deficit.
Fantastic shot by Hudak.
Great ball movement as well to find the open shooter as Lakewood finding ways to counteract the Bay attack down the stretch here. Trailing by 5. Nice job by Hampton to get a hand on that one. Under 3 minutes remaining here at Lakewood High School. We have a good one in the GLC brewing with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
I see Bay is doing a good, smart job.
Nice steal by the Rangers there as Henriksen. Didn't see LeVogue. She almost got another one from behind. Rangers settling down, trying to make this a one-possession game. Hudak will command the ball as Lakewood will get set. Hudak finds her sister for three. No good. Nice job by IE underneath to tie that one up. And the ball will stay here with Lakewood. What a job by IE not to give up on that one. It was a good shot by Hudak, just a little bit long. But, man, you'll take that shot every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, wide open looks.
Wide open looks for the Rangers as Hampton receives that one in the corner. Garcia posting up down low. Hudak was open and the pass bounced out.
She's down there working hard, and we got to make sure we give her a good pass in there. That was a heck of a post up.
It looked like Jacqueline Hudak was just a little surprised about how wide open she was.
Maybe
and
so.
that can be jarring for a player.
Maybe so.
When you're like, somebody should be guarding. Can lead you to throw a ball away, certainly. As the Rockets will put the ball in Martin's hand to guide them down the stretch. 2 minutes remaining as the Lakewood girls JV team chanting defense, hoping to get the ball back with no damage on the scoreboard. The shot by LeVogue in the corner, tipped by Bison, and that one will be tipped out of bounds by Sam Hudak. A really nice job by her to get mixed up underneath. Sam Hudak always seems to be mixed up underneath.
Sam has a really good nose for the ball, and she's she's tough too. She goes after.
Bay Village didn't get the look they wanted on that one, so number 23, Audrey Highland, will throw that one off Hudak. And the ball will now be in the Twilight Zone corner of doom. If you're an inbounder, this is a tight place to be.
Not the place you want to be. Hey, under 2 minutes, though. It's on now. We got to make sure.
Timeout by Coach Karan there, as he didn't like what he was seeing. Again, that's a tough place to be if you're an inbounder, so they're going to try to draw something up, free up a Rocket for a shot here with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, 39-34. We said to the viewers at home, stick around. This is going to be a good one, and you've been perfect on your predictions down the stretch. So I'm going to ask you to make one more.
It might be a little selective thinking there.
We'll run the tape back and edit out any ones that you don't get
I
right,
appreciate
okay?
that.
Keep your record perfect. But, you know, if I could ask you to predict a little bit down the stretch, young squads on both ends here.
Yeah.
You're going to look to like players like junior Emily Martin, Audrey Highland for the Bay Village Rockets. For Lakewood, it's going to be McCullough. It's going to be energy players like Molly Henriksen finding their way. And it looks like Coach Work is going to go with a young squad here. You got no seniors on the floor. You got Garcia, Hampton, both Hudak sisters, and Henriksen. Listen, if Rangers are going to win this game, it's going to be in the youth movement.
Listen, this is the squad right here that brought you to the dance. You might want to dance with them. Trust it. I like it.
Garcia, nice job underneath.
Very good job.
With post defense, no easy entries down there. We've seen Bay Village get to the line habitually today through their post entries, as the Rockets will have another baseline. Now the Rockets
get back to the blob, right? They get back to the blob here, and
looks like some cross-cutting work there as Bison. That one almost went down for number 22, Lucy Bison underneath, but again, she found herself free on that baseline out of bounds play. Just a nice job by her to stay tough and get that shot up there. She will go to the line for 2.
See, here's the only thing about a young team in now. You know, you've got Delaney Garcia, seeing her second or third varsity game here. And so now you've got inbounds plays like that call for a lot of communication, a lot of talking, and you're
putting the pressure on the defense.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's one of the things here. But couldn't be more proud of Delaney Garcia and her. She really has grown up today. You see it.
The free throw missed, and Hudak there to collect it. 40-34, the Rockets lead. Here in the fourth quarter, the scooping layup by Hudak. No good, and Lakewood stepped out with that offensive rebound. 40-34. Morris and Highland doing the offense-defensive subs here for Bay Village. A little bit of full court pressure for the Rangers. Garcia will cover up the ball. Lakewood man-to-man press. That one underneath. Hampton almost got in the passing lane. Martin ahead. Nice catch there by the freshman Riley LeVogue with one hand. Martin whips it underneath. Some contact, and Lakewood will end up with it. Some contact there again on Hudak, but Lakewood will retain possession. 1 minute, 21 seconds remaining as the timeout is called by Coach Work. It'll be a full one. 40-34 on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Boy, oh boy, that seemed like there was.
It seems like
eons of action there without any real attack at the hoop.
No, that's true. I wonder if we got to look at maybe Molly Hendrickson and making sure the ball gets in her hands.
6-point deficit. A three-pointer would go a long way here.
But she usually makes pretty decent decisions.
Sure.
And she's the oldest on the floor, right?
Absolutely.
She's the junior on the floor.
If you went up to IE right now and said, "Hey, you're the veteran out there,"
yeah.
she may look at you sideways, but that's the reality she finds herself in.
And then the young Garcia, man, I tell you, if it's inside, she's She's done such a fantastic job with her body position down in there,
and the foul line's your friend right now if you're the Lakewood Rangers.
Absolutely, I wouldn't be afraid to dump it into her and let her go.
Absolutely, as the Bay Village Rockets will send out LeVogue, Morris, Martin, Bison, and Zeberth. Lakewood the same lineup out there. Nice block underneath by Chaley Zebarth, and Bay will push it the other way. Morris ahead. Travel on. Bay Village will return the ball to the Rangers as Highland will check in for Morris there.
I tell you what, Bay Village keeps helping them out a little bit, huh? That was
Lakewood finding themselves with
that was
chances
a fortunate turnover
to get into this one. Hampton stops, finds Garcia underneath. What a layup by Garcia. What a find by Hampton. You called it once again. Wide open is Zebarth with nobody around as the Rangers try to pressure full court. Trailing by 4 now. 40-36, and the foul will be assessed. 49.2 seconds
Young Garcia's
remaining.
growing up in front of our eyes there, Grant. I'm telling you. I like that kid. We've liked that kid ever since she was in third, fourth grade rec ball here. We knew she'd be a good one. But like I said on the last broadcast, comes from good lineage.
That's right. The Royal Garcia basketball family, as we call it here in Lakewood, passing down another fantastic performance out of Delaney, the youngest, as Hudak will sit.
I think I see Sister Jess, like I said, the last 1,000-point scorer. I see her in the stands tonight.
Some good mojo for the Rangers as Bay Village knocks in both free throws to extend their lead back to 6.
Those are 2 big hits, Grant.
6-point advantage brings this game to a 2-possession one as Hudak, the nice jump. The nice jumper from the baseline didn't go. McCullough mixing it up underneath as the ball was hit out of bounds by Lakewood as Jacqueline Hudak checked back in. Gianna McCullough will sit as Bay Village looking to keep their streak at the free throw line going. Bison was trapped. Zebarth knocks it around.
It looked like a step there, Grant.
Riley LeVogue, a few stutter steps there, but no call as Emily Martin will be fouled. And if you're the Rangers, you were probably hoping not to put Emily Martin at the free throw line, but truth sometimes is stranger than fiction. We'll see how this one plays out.
Emily Martin,
Martin at the line with the Bay Village Rockets leading by 6. Martin up and in on the first one, 43-36. McCullough back in for Hudak.
She's got a pretty shot there, Grant. Yeah, she knows what she's doing at the line.
Oftentimes your free throw lineup is in at this point of the game, but it's been interesting for Bay Village. Their free throw lineup has pretty much been their starting 5, which is a testament to the skill that this Rocket team has. 20 seconds remaining here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Lakewood trailing by 8. Hudak stops and pivots. Hampton finds her again. Hudak tied up, and that shot was no good, as Lakewood will let the string play out here. A fantastic job by the Rangers to make this one a competitive, energy-filled game by both squads. Bay Village just a little too tough tonight for the Rangers. And Mike, you know, again, Lakewood, there's a lot of things that you can build on if you're the Rangers within this one. Again, playing, you're now starting to see the, as we say, you know, you're entering the turn of the GLC play. You're playing somebody for the second time. And when you're a young team, you know, Bay Village, you know, a little bit too tough tonight. Defensively, they had some nice blocks on their end, but Lakewood did some things to get himself back into this, and we saw a good one here on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Yeah, Grant, it just seemed like, you know, it didn't start off well, but Lakewood kept fighting back, kept trying to fight back, get back into it. But it seemed like every time we make a run, they had an answer. And it's tough from playing from behind,
Sure.
Especially when you have a young team.
Sure. Well, if you look, and it's easy to say, right, as we sit here at the end of this one on the Lakewood Sports Channel, but if you look, 14-point to 0-point first quarter for the Rockets against the Rangers. It only ends up being an 8-point game.
Virtually, you only played 3 quarters tonight if you're Lakewood. You're right. I mean,
only paid part-time if you're the Rangers. But that just speaks to the resiliency of this team. I mean, if you sit me down and say, hey, you're going to be down 14-0 after the first quarter, I'm not signing up for that. But what Lakewood did was looked at adversity in the face and kept battling, kept having the energy that they're known for, and only an 8-point loss to Bay Village. So you got to take solace in that. I know we probably won't get Coach Work to accept that right after this one.
No, I wouldn't say that to her.
Hey, well, hopefully she's not tuning into the post-game show tonight.
Being on the losing end of games like this, I think, you know, that wouldn't be wise. But
sure,
look,
if you had a team with 6 seniors and they've been playing together forever, sure. Dynamic a little bit different for this Lakewood squad.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm probably biased because I served alongside this coaching crew, but I really think that the program's in good hands.
Absolutely. You've seen the energy from the team, and if you can start there, it's only positive momentum from there on up.
Absolutely. I think it's just one of those things where you got things to learn. You're young and you have things to learn, and when you're young and you have things to learn, man, this is how it goes. You're gonna lose some heartbreakers, but you know, it'll turn around.
Absolutely.
It always does. You know, you get into these tough games, and now you get to learning how to win. So
sure.
I like where we are. I said it last time I saw this. I don't have any reason to change that. Just got to clean up a few things, tidy up a few things, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
Well, we can't wait to bring you girls basketball again here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We got a feeling that the next game these girls play, you're going to want to tune in for, because they put on a show each and every time, and we're hoping the next one will spell a win for the purple and gold. Yep. For Mike Harper, I'm Grant Graves. We want to thank our families from at home for supporting the Lakewood Sports Channel along with the Lakewood Athletic Boosters. The Lakewood Sports Channel is brought to you by First Federal Lakewood. And until next time, go Rangers and go Browns.